It starts with a couple Mayan chambing and cement with each other. They are both architects running their own company on the way to birthday/engagement party of Lassie Maya's father to Elizabeth. Tim gives me a wedding ring. Frida, Elizabeth's daughter, will be seen rehearsing her line when the couple decided to have a smoke. Frida asks if she can borrow their lighter, and so Tim lights the cigarette. For her, Maya is starting to feel jealous when Oscar, Maya's brother, sees them and introduces Frida. Ring last speech. Mia tells him about her engagement with them. Lazy announces the good news, and everyone congratulates them later on. As they are dancing, May assists Frida and Tim dancing together, and the two seem to be getting along well. Mia can't hide her jealousy anymore, so she confronts her fiancé. She asks him what he is playing at, but Time only responds in a jokingly manner. In the morning, May assists Lassie and Frida having a conversation like real father and daughter. It makes her hate Frida more. Lassie asks Maya to come to Hess and Elizabeth's cottage to advise them on an extension, and Maya says yes. The two girls travel together to the holiday house as a result of a teasing, followed by a serious conversation. Mia's impression, and Frida changes the good. Upon arrival, it is shown that the artists share the same room. The tension between them is obviously getting stronger. Elizabeth shows Maya where they think of building the house extension. While they are talking, Maya finds out her father has an urgent meeting in town and couldn't come. She gets so upset and tells her father on the phone that he can't just leave her on an island with the people she doesn't know at night when we are still not showing herself up free. The volunteers to go and check on her. She finds her hiding spot and offers her wine and cigarette. Frida shows Maya the deer nearby. Frida is looking at the deer. Me, however, is staring intensely at Frida. She eventually initiates a long kiss, but suddenly decides to stop, leaving Frida confused muck at the house. Maya is in a deep thought, appearing regretful for what she just did. The next day, she inquires that there is an available car for hire, so she can immediately leave the island, but because there isn't, she has no choice but to agree with Elizabeth's invite to go fishing. When she and Frida are alone, Frida asks her why she cast her and tells her that they can't just pretend it didn't happen. As they are about to cast, Elizabeth enters the barn. They swim in a lake and Maya clarifies if Frida is really into girls. Frida says yes. Frida once again asks me doesn't know she just did. She tells Frida she loves them, adding that she's not like her, afraid that out soon. When they got back and are about to sleep, Frida approaches Mia in her bed. They cast passionately and Mia lets Frida pleasure her. She then again falls into a deep thought. Morning comes, and they are woken up by Elizabeth's heavy footsteps. Time for them to leave the island, but Frida's car won't start, so they ride the bus and get picked up. Alice and Tim in the car. Tim talks about their wedding while Frida is secretly being jealous on the side. When the two of them are alone, Mia told Frida again she loves them, and even though she really likes Frida so much, she knows she shouldn't be feeling that way. Frida finally gives up on her during meal. Tim tells the family he and Maya are house hunting. Frida can no longer endure to listen under conversation. She should ask them. She is not feeling well as she gets back to her place and is shown that she has kindly living with someone. Meanwhile, undressers and notices a big hickey on her shoulder. She packs her clothes and dusts them. She is going home with him. They miss puzzled as she is supposed to stay there for a week. They are finally home when Tim notices them. Hickey. Mia tells him she ran into a branch of tree back at her parents' place, and Tim believes her. Maya is once again in a deep thought, and while looking at them, she keeps telling him she loves him. One night, the couple are talking about the house they visited earlier. The talk turns into an argument on the topic of having a baby, is brought to end by them. Morning comes and Tim apologizes while he is looking at Oscar's social media. Someone calls him on his phone. Mia's free this account, and she browses on her photos. Freedom, on the other hand, is watching the footage from the engagement celebration. When her partner Ellen calls her in bed, Frida is not feeling it and rejects her affection. Ellen says something Hing is wrong, and so does Stem. Elizabeth asks her daughter why she no longer comes and eats with them. She questions if something happened. Frida replies she doesn't know how to say it, but still opens up about her, and Mia. Elizabeth gets frantic and says she asked her to try to be nice to her and not to fall in love with her. She asks Frida about Ellen, reminding her that after she had been through the exact same thing and being crushed by it, she is now doing it to her. Frida goes back to their place, and even though she really hates doing it to Ellen, she finally puts an end to their relationship. Upon hearing that it is Oscar's sister, Ellen responds how hard it would be for Lesser having two lesbians in the family. Frida's only replies that she loves Maya. Ellen then realizes that Mia is soon getting married to a man. She tells Frida she's just an experiment to Maya, and that Maya is never going to leave him. The two siblings are having a meal. Oscar tells Mia that Frida said hi, and she is currently in town with her school to hold a concert. Meanwhile, Elizabeth reveals the shocking news to Lasa and Frida is in love with his daughter, and Maya is feeling the same way. Lasa strongly denies the thought of Mia being a homosexual and tries to change the topic, hence Elizabeth gets disappointed. on him and asks him if it is wrong or disgusting. Lassa disagrees, but tells her that no parent wants their kid to be gay or lesbian. He then demands to her not to talk about it anymore. Elizabeth asks him questions, but he doesn't say a thing. Therefore, Elizabeth gets angry and leaves him. Maya tries putting on her wedding dress, which was her mother's. She feels uncomfortable, so she removes it immediately. The next morning, she secretly comes to concert and takes a glance at Frida, sees her, and runs. After her, Maya says she should not have come and that she has got to go, but Frida stops her. Frida demands to give her a few minutes to send the kids home with her parents and tells her to wait for her show. Gets back and they hug each other tight. Mia is now expressing her feelings, and she is now the one picturing freedom. They stare at each other lovingly and share passionate kisses. Soon Frida Sasha thanks Mia lied to her that she couldn't be the first girl she has been with. Mia confirms, and thus her. She just never thought she would feel that way again. Frida asks if them knew. Mia answers no, and it was long before him. Frida tells Maya that she wants to be with her all the time, but she does not want to become someone. Maya cheats on them with that. Me isn't just taking off and starting over somewhere else. Frida questions her idea. Frida gets dismayed by the thought of running away, and such is an idiot for loving her when she is only 3 months away from getting married. She asks her if she loves them. Mia shakes her head. They cares Mia she can't maritime, and that she couldn't survive if she did. They make love while Frida slipping. Maya is looking at her. Seconds later, Lassa calls Maya to tell her he just wanted to hear her voice. They make short conversation and hung up in the morning. Maya says they could just live like that, the two of them alone, but Frida responds that she doesn't want to live like that, as they are locking themselves away from real life. Mia says it is difficult for her as she is not brave, like Frida. If only people wouldn't ask questions, she said. Frida replies that she wants them to ask questions because she is proud of her and that she wants to show the world how much she loves her. Mia smiles. They are being sweet inside a car when Tim with Oscar are driving around nearby. Soon, Mia and Frida get off from the car, hug and guess on the lips and goodbye. Then witness ask the whole thing. Lassa makes peace with Elizabeth. He says he thinks he has always known about Maya, but he hasn't been able to deal with that. Back at them, and Maya's place them approaches Maya and kisses her into Molly. Maya shrugs him off, and so he forces himself on her, though he later on stops to. Next day, the two are sent awkwardly working in her office. Mia is supposed to make freedom, but then reminds her of their meeting with the priest. Frida is waiting. They are practicing their wedding vows when Mia finally said she can't marry Sam, then runs away from the church. She drives the meeting place and finds Frida is just about to leave. She runs to her happily and tells her that she can't marry them, and she is in love with her Freed. However, tells her she is not done with him. She is not done with her life together. And what happened that day when she was waiting for her is always going to happen. She needed to wake up from her dream of her, and she did in the end. Although Maya begs her not to go, Frida still does. Tim is playing with the wedding menus that just arrived when Maya appears. He says he was thinking of what they are going to say to their families and friends. He practices his line that goes, "Sorry, the wedding is canceled." Apparently, me as a lesbian. Mia gets flustered and asks him how he knows them. Reveals he saw her with Frida. Me, if I was sorry he found out that way. But Tim shouts at her to get out. Mia is walking in the street alone crying, and so is Frida. Lassa has been waiting for Mia and gives her a hug as soon as she sees her. Mia asks him if he is ashamed of her. He says he just wants her to be happy and healthy. He then asks her why. Maya simply answers that she loves her. She gets back to their place and leaves her wedding ring. At the sound of the door closing, Tim sheds ears. Mia knocks in Frida's old place, and there she meets Ellen. She asks if Frida is home. Alan says no. She asks where she's at. Alan then figures out she has Mia. Maya asks her again where Frida's, but Alan replies, "Over my dead body," and shuts the door. Maya knocks and knocks, then decides to just ask Elizabeth instead. Elizabeth tells her, though, that Frida needs peace and quiet, and that she is not what Frida needs. Mia begs Elizabeth to tell her, stating she is foolish and has nothing left. Elizabeth finally tells her. After giving Elizabeth a sincere hug, Mia quickly takes off and tries to catch Frida's flight to Barcelona. But unfortunately, she did not make it. Another day comes, and Maya is in riding a car enjoying the scenery and walking in Barcelona street. She is searching for Frida. She walks and walks and walks until she finds her. She stands beside her quietly, and Frida notices. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the summary, you will surely enjoy watching the